In this video, I'm going to show you how to use Apify and Claude Code for lead generation. We're going to go over how to build the system and how to keep it as cheap as possible so you can script thousands of leads without having to pay for expensive tools. Just a quick one, if you don't know who I am, I'm George Kane. I've run my AI agency Ahead with AI for the past 3 years, and we focus on eliminating manual bottlenecks for business owners and building lead generation systems. If anything that you see in this video looks like it might be of use to you, I'm going to leave a link in the top line of the description to book up a call with me. Without any further ado, let's get into it. Now, one thing to mention before we go about building this system is that it isn't going to be completely free. So on Apify, you can get paid subscriptions, or you can go for a free trial. It gives you $5 worth of credit. For Claude, we're going to need at least a Claude Pro plan, of which they are about $20 right now, and that's all that we need to run this system. What we're going to do now is go through how to actually run and build the system on top of that. And I'm going to show you guys how you can use all the Apify actors through Claude by simply connecting it up. So the first thing that you're going to need, as I said, is a Claude premium account. We can think of Claude in this scenario as the AI operator. It's what we use to actually control any other tool that we're then going to go for a link to. The second tool that we're going to use is one called Apify. Now, as you can see, I've loaded up an Apify trial account and we have $5 worth of usage. All Apify is a scraper library. So contained inside of here is thousands of scrapers. As you can see, there's actors for TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Google Maps. There's literally thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of scrapers that you can go in here. The key thing about Apify is that it's built and maintained by the community. So each one of these actors was created by an individual who's gone through and listed it here for us to use. What we're going to go through now is showing you how to actually link up the Claude account to the Apify. And the reason we do this is so you don't have to go through and manually configure each scraper with your HTTP call and your API key. And we're going to have Claude actually choose for us. Okay, perfect. So now we're inside of Claude Code, and what we're going to do is we're going to come to this little plus and we're going to go connectors. The next thing is going to be add a connector, and we're going to look for the Apify integration. Here it is. We want to add this, and the next thing that we want to do is we want to hit install. So as you can see, Apify, world's largest marketplace for tools, web scraping, crawling, and data extraction. Make sure that it's the one by Apify Technologies, and then just go ahead and hit install. So what it's going to actually do is it's next going to ask us for our API key, and we're going to go through how you actually retrieve that inside of Apify and link it to Claude. Okay, perfect. So what it's going to do is it's going to load you up on a page here, and it's going to have text in here. What you're going to do is not worry about that, and we're going to come across to Apify. So you land on the Apify dashboard. We're then going to go settings. I'm going to go API and integrations, and you're going to copy this key, and then you're going to bring that straight back to Claude and then paste it in here. As far as the enabled tools, don't worry about this for the time being, just hit save. Going to go through then and enable that, configure, and here we are. Perfect. So now that you're inside of this, what we can see is it has the ability to go through and write delete tools, read only tools, and so on. What I would recommend that we do is change this to always allow, and similarly always allow. And then what you're going to do is come back, and we're just going to go to a Claude Code chat. What we're going to do now to test the Claude Code has actually linked to Apify is we're going to say, for example, use Apify to find me 20 accounting firms in London with their name, phone number, website, and email. What we're going to do from here is I'm going to go ahead and run this, and Claude is going to plan the task. It's going to pick a scraper, which I would imagine will be Google Maps. It's then going to run it and return a spreadsheet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this run off, and then we'll come back once it's given everything that it needs to do. Okay, perfect. Just to jump in while this is doing its thing, you can see that it has the right Apify actor, and it's gone through and actually chosen this Google Maps email extractor from Lucas, and what it's going to do is then go through and run the results and put them in a spreadsheet for us. So it's now getting the actor details, and it's going to load the HTTP call, and then it's going to create the task, and it's going to recall the actor before passing us our data down at the bottom. Okay, perfect. So as you can see, the actor actually took a few tries. So the good thing about Claude is if it doesn't run it right the first time, it's going to go through and actually change it and go to a different approach and then rewrite the API call and do it itself. So as you can see, it's now creating me a spreadsheet with 20 places in London, and we'll give it a second. Here we are. Perfect. And it's actually saved the spreadsheet locally to my computer, but I'll open it up here so we can take a look. And we can see that it's actually saved a spreadsheet with accounting firms, their phone number, website, email address, and then their actual address as well, which is absolutely perfect. Now, what we might want to do is take this a step further. So say you were using this for email personalization, or you were going to run Claude Code to scrape your leads for a cold email. What we would then need would be the CEO's name. And also what we're going to take is any social media activity for each of these companies. The reason we're going to do that is so we can then personalize the outreach and reference something that they've posted directly within the email that we send to them. So I'm going to run this, and it's going to just give us a little bit of personalization on each of these firms specifically. Okay, perfect. So as you can see, what we now have is an enriched spreadsheet. So what it did was it cross-referenced all of the information from spreadsheet 1 against the UK company's house, which is basically just our company registry, and it found the director names, the registered office, and it gave all the social media URLs that they could find from the website. Now, if we take a look at this spreadsheet, what we can now see is we have the firm's name, the director, phone number, email, website, the office address, the registered address, the URL, and then their social media platforms as well. Now, to take this one step further, what I would do from here is I would then begin to actually enrich that for email addresses on the director. Use a tool like ICPs, where we put in the first name, last name, and website that we now have, and I would enrich that. Now, what we could do is we could then bring in Claude Code to deep personalize everything from this spreadsheet. Perfect. So what I would then do, coming back to any email system that we went over the other day, what we need fundamentally to build out an email system is we need somewhere to scrape. So we've used Apify. We can enrich using ICPs, and then from there we're going to pass it to instantly for the sending. Now what we're going to do in the middle is we're going to use this prompt to personalize all of the emails, and then we're going to pass it straight across to instantly as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come inside of Claude Code. As you can see, I've already uploaded the spreadsheet containing all my leads, and I'm just going to paste in this prompt. I'm going to say, do it for one lead, and we're going to go through and let this run, and I'm going to show you the personalized email sequence that'll come out. Great. So now that we're inside of Claude Code, what you can see it's done is it's gone through and it's actually scraped the website of this KHIZ accounting service, and it's gone through and pulled something memorable from their site. So they didn't have any case studies available, but what they did have is a stat saying they've served over 1,300 UK businesses. So what we're doing is we're actually referencing this directly, and I've had Claude spin me up email copy. All I would then do would be pass it off, give it my instantly API key, and tell it to add it to a sequence. Right now, I'm running my community AI campus. We're 45 members. As soon as we get to our 75th member, we're going to be running 3 weekly calls, one on Claude Code, one on lead generation for client acquisition, and the other one's going to be building using no-code tools. Once we get to 75 members, it's going to be locked for 2 months. So there's going to be a link to this community in the first line of the description. It's free. Jump in and take advantage of all the learning resources that we have built in as well. Apart from that, guys, cheers.